Are we all good? I hope so. It is Monday, the 17th of November in the evening. I'm a bit early this evening. I'll tell you why. Just got wrapped up, had tea, walked the dogs, got back in here for about just before 7, and I've been sat here messaging. Some of you might have had some messages off me. Been sat here messaging away, tapping away on the old keyboard. And I thought, you know what? Let's get the live up and running because I'm going to go to bed. I'm a bit knackered. I'm still kind of in semi recovery from the old man flu. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine and dandy today. To be honest, I've been to the gym. I've trained quite well. Done a bit of cardio as well, which is all good. And yeah, just a little bit. I'm just feeling a little bit knackered. Not sleeping on, so you know, at night on the when you lie down in it on your chest and stuff like that. So yeah, we're all good, but I just fancy a little bit of an earlier night. So here I am, a little bit earlier than normal. How's your Monday been? Has it been good? How cold has it been today? It's not alive unless we have a little whinge about the weather, and it has been flipping fresh. It has definitely been fresh today. Really, really cold. In fact, we just walked the dogs before, and I said to Rachel, I said, this is like end of December, like January cold here, which is really random because it was the warmest bonfire night 10 days ago in history, or something like 12 days ago. It was like 17 degrees, I think it was, through the day, and like 12 or 13 degrees at night time, which isn't a million miles away off what some parts of Spain are at the moment. And then tonight, it's absolutely Baltic. Absolutely Baltic. Anyway, there you go. Let me have a scan down. I've just had a question off Anis. Let me do the top 5. Let's start there. Luke's in at number 1. Callum's in at number 2. Steph GC is in at number 3. Kelly C is in at number 4. And Jane is in at number 5. Guys, good evening. Thank you very much for jumping on live, coming and saying hello. Who else in? Ryan's in. Evening, boss. Evening, mate. Sheila, good evening. Who else is in this evening? Anis, Neil, when do you want my ASAP? I've had 3 sign-ups today, and the 2 consultation forms are already in. 2 are in, just wait for yours, but send them in just whenever you want. Is it worth me just sending this after Christmas? No, I'll get you started on Monday. Start it on Monday. You can send it after Christmas if you want, but anyone that signs up today, I will get you going on Monday. So yeah, send your form over. I'll get your plan written up, and you'll be going on Monday. You get 2 check-ins in with me before Christmas. All right. I mean, if you want to start after Christmas with me, you can do. That's entirely up to you. But if you want to get going Monday, get that consultation form over. Yes, 3 of you have took advantage of my Black Friday deal. So basically, I'm doing a cheapie, a proper cheapie for the next couple of weeks. No sign-up fee. No sign-up fee. You can come and start for nothing. Right? I've got 1 start date left of 2025, a week today. That's it. Right? Anyone that signs up after Thursday this week, you will start after Christmas. So you can still take advantage of the Black Friday deal, which is no sign-up. You can sign up to plan, and I'll write your plan up for you and get it all sorted out. You'll get instant access to the community. So you can get instant access to the community. And you can have that all the way up until Christmas. So, but yeah, if you sign up today, tomorrow, or Wednesday and get your consultation form over, no charge, free. Yeah, you've heard that right, free. Black Friday 0 is the code. It's on the website. No charge, and you do pay subscription to be on my plan, but that will start on the 1st of December. So that's about 2 weeks today. So start on plan a week today, right? Instant access to the community today if you want it. Yeah. You'll start on plan a week today, and 2 weeks today, you'll pay your first subscription of $29.99. So $29.99 a week, 2 weeks today, 1 Jan, 1 Feb. That's your minimum. But until then, until the 1st of December, you'll get your plan. You'll get to start on plan a week on Monday. Nothing. You don't have to lay out a single penny. I've got to have a fasting blood test in the morning. Sugar keeps going very low. Is that from midnight? Hi, we'll sort subscription in the morning. Just remembered, Lynn. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. In fact, I was going through some of the people that I have, my current members who I've done a Black Friday deal for, and I was going to actually ping them a little message just to say I'm happy to do another couple. All right. So I messaged last week, and I was going to do 3. Those went very, very quickly, to be honest with you. But I'm happy to do another couple if anyone wants. If anyone's currently on plan, it is called Pay Neil's Tax Bill. All right, that's what we're calling it. We're calling it Pay Neil's Tax Bill. Now, I can't have too many signing up to yearly subscriptions because my business is run on a monthly basis. Like everyone, you get paid monthly. So, and don't get me wrong, if every single one of my clients signed up yearly and just paid up front, yes, I get a lot of cash up front. But there is a chance I would spend that cash and it wouldn't last me a year. I wouldn't. I'd try and budget it out a little bit. But I like having monthly subscriptions. But I've got 150 active members at the moment. And currently, I've got about 130 that pay monthly and then about 20 that pay yearly. Because you can sign up for a yearly sub, right? Sign up and save yourself a chunk of cash, right? You really, really can. All right. Anyway, there we go. But we're doing a little free sign up at the moment. How do check-ins work, Neil? Unless you'll get all that, get signed. Don't you worry about doing check-ins yet, mate. You get your consultation form over. When I send your plan over, I will explain everything to you. All right. So that's your first port of call. Get your consultation form over to me. Once I get your consultation form, I'll write your plan up. I'll get that over to you Thursday. When I send your plan over, I'll do a voice note, which will explain everything about plan, everything going forward, and then all your questions will be asked. If you've got any further questions after that, you can then WhatsApp me back. All right? But we'll get you on plan. But first port of call, my man, is get that consultation form over to me so I can get your plan sorted. Caroline, hello. Good evening, Caroline. Regan's in as well. Hello, 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 hello. Let me scan up, see if I've missed anybody. I don't think I have. No, I think we're Sheila. Have I said good evening to you? If I haven't, good evening, Sheila. I'm just trying to, from memory. I think I'm on it. Lee Richardson on Facebook. Good evening, my man. Hope you're good too. Anyway, Monday's been good. Now, this morning, I shot off the live rather quickly because actually, it wasn't my GP. It was my GP practice. Was phoning me. And I didn't. They literally. I didn't expect it, to be honest with you. I did put on. So now with my GP, this might be the same with all GP practices. You log onto the website, right? You log onto the website, and you basically put in, "I want to see a doctor." Is it an emergency? No. If it's a yes, then you ring up at 8 in the morning, get put in a queue, and try and go through, and blah blah blah. It's not emergency. You just want a general appointment. So that's what I did on Friday. Why? Because I've decided to pull the trigger. New knees. So I sent my little email in, my little form in. And GP, they emailed me actually saying they'd be in touch today. Messaged me today saying they'd be in touch today. And then next thing, bang, phone call. What time was it? About 20 past 9:30 was it this morning? It was nearly 9:30, wasn't it? So, one of the GPs from my local practice phoned me up, and we are putting the wheels into motion for the RLB to get himself some new knees. So, first port of call is x-rays on Wednesday. Straight in. Go for x-rays on Wednesday. I've already got a lot of data on my medical sheet about my knees. I've been for MRI scans. I've got no cartilage in them. I've got one joint that's fused pretty much. My other joints, bone on bone. My knees are knackered, right? And they're riddled with arthritis, and they're just done. But I've kind of noticed I've lost quite a bit of weight this year, which has made it easier, right? Which has made it easier, but they're getting worse and worse. They're getting worse and worse. And what I actually am quite knock-kneed, which means my feet are very supinated. So my knees go in, and then I walk on the outside of my ankles. And Rachel's cousin, Alison, who's a physio, she's been saying it for the last 12 months, like, your knees are getting worse, and to compensate that, you're walking more on your ankles, which means your ankles are taking a battering. You can replace knees, you can replace hips, you can't replace ankles. And she was literally, like, go now, get it sorted out. So I pulled the trigger and we're going to go for new knees. How old are you for your knees to be like that? I'm 45, but you know, I've carried 40 stone on these knees for a lot of years, right? So they're battered, right? And that's what's done the damage. My morbid obesity, right, is what's done the damage. It's accelerating my joints. So basically, I've got the joints of and when I went for an MRI scan in 2017 because I went for an MRI in 2017, and my GP, my mate that's a GP that I actually help out with different bits and pieces, he literally said to me, then he said, your joints are knackered, right? That's all he said. He said, your knees are knackered. He never actually went, he said, cartilage damage and a few other bits and pieces. But he said, there's nothing really we can do. Just try and manage with them, because he said a new knee lasts at the moment 10 years, maybe 15. So, and at the time I was like late 30s. So he was like, if we did it, and you can only have two, apparently. That was what he said to me at the time. You can have two new knees. So if you have a new knee at 40, you're going to need a new one 50, 55, and then you're going to need another new one 65, maybe up to 70. That's it, and he's done. By the time he's 70, you're not going to be able to walk, right? Also, it'll pay now for the inhale. Brilliant, Lynn. I'll mark it down. Thank you very much. So he was like, yeah, you know, that's it. So he said, you need to make them last, really, and just keep doing what you're doing. Weight loss, healthier, strengthen them in the gym. You know the drill. And that's what I've done for the last sort of 8 years, but they're not getting any better. And they're getting to the point now where I'm getting a little bit worried about it. You know, I'm 45. You know, I'm knocking on the door of 50 coming. You know, soon be here. It's not next year or anything like that, but you know. And I'm also like conscious. Rachel's like 10 years younger than me. She don't want me push. I'm not having her pushing me around when she's in. You know, when I'm 65 and she's 55, and she's pushing me around in the wheel. That ain't happening. That ain't happening at all. So we're gonna go get the old knees sorted. See what the next steps are. It could take 5 years to get it, but I'm gonna put it in place and we're gonna push for it and see where. And the doctor agreed with me this morning. She was like, "Yeah, let's." She said it might be 12 months, might be 18 months, might be next week. She said you just don't actually know with knees at the moment. They're being quite quick. She said, but your age is going to play against you, because you've got time on your side, but also will play on the weight side of things as well. So anyway, we'll see what we get to. I'll keep you informed. Anyway, first things first is do I cancel the direct debit after December? Lynn, I'll sort it all. Once I've logged everyone that's new, yeah, it will do. I'll cancel it all. Don't you worry. You don't need to sort everything. I will sort it all out. Don't worry. It will all be sorted. And thank you very much again. Maureen, good evening. Good evening, good evening, Maureen. Hope you're good. So yeah, so that's why I had to shoot off this morning, because I wanted to natter to the doctor. And I can't believe how quick she was literally like, yeah, I'll just get you an X-ray referral form. We'll get you in on Wednesday. Go get your X-rays done. That'll then come through back to me. I'll then put you through to the. She said, I don't know what department I'm going to put you through to, but I need an up-to-date X-ray before I can put you through, and then you'll go and chat to them, and they'll. You know, I'll refer that we recommend that you have this, and then we'll just take it from there. So I was like, cool. So we'll see where we get to. Right, let me scan down again, see if I missed anything. I'm going to say I've smashed this year. Started at 30 stone and hit 20 on Sunday. That is absolutely amazing. Weighing 1/3 weight gone. Unbelievable. 10 stone loss in a year, 140 pounds. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And some people might think, you know, I always talk about healthy, sustainable fat loss is about 4 stone a year. If you're 30 stone, I dropped 10 stone I was 37 stone when I started, and I dropped 10 stone in my first year of my weight loss journey. Well, probably a little bit less than a year, probably about 11 months. Because the bigger you are, the more calories you burn, right? And the more calories you burn, the bigger the deficit you can go into. And it still be, you know, I dropped 10 stone in a year eating 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day. You know, It doesn't matter whether you're 30 stone or you're 50 stone or 70 stone. 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day is a good amount of fuel. Right? It really, really is. You're not over restricting yourself on that, you know. By the way, trigger warning. I said this morning. I have still got a bit of man flu. If I'm a bit sniffly, coffee, and that's gonna not coffee as in tea and coffee, like coughing, bit coffee, bit sniffly. If that's gonna do you nothing, please just scroll on by. I understand it's not very nice for people like that, but yeah, I'm just on the back end of it. How do you combat food noise? Naturally. Now, it was on Manjaro and doing really well, but since stopping, it's accelerating. Very, very common. So, how do you combat food noise naturally? So, there's two types of food noise, really. There's physical, hunger, and then there's psychological. And food noise generally is a psychological thing, but we can combat it with physical things. So, keeping our appetite under control will keep appetite hormones under control. And the first steps to combating food noise is making sure nothing physically is going on. Like your body physically isn't saying, I'm hungry, I need food. How do we do that? We eat a healthy amount of calories, right? So stop all this crash dieting nonsense, this 1,200 calories a day, 1,500 calories a day. Stop that garbage, right? If you're overweight, you eat more than 1,500 calories a day. Right? If you have to eat 1,500 calories a day to lose weight, you're either not overweight, you either don't move enough, right? Or you don't need to lose weight, you just want to. Right? It really is that simple. So eat a healthy amount of calories, structure those calories properly throughout the day, prioritize with everything you eat, right? Protein, fiber, and volume with everything you eat. Main meals, snacks, everything. Protein, fiber, volume. This is if food. You don't have to eat. You know, if you want a bag of crisps as a snack, you can have one. But if food noise is playing a part, you need to be doing your best to numb it, right? So physically, that is what we do. Healthy, good amount of calories, structure your calories correctly throughout the day, prioritize protein, fiber, and volume to help fill you up. Right. Next thing, hydration. Make sure you're giving your body enough fluids. Doesn't cause weight loss, but it's a very good natural appetite suppressant. Yeah. That will cure the physical side of it, but that can only do so much. That can only do so much, right? The physical side of it, because a lot of food noise is a psychological hunger, right? It's your mind telling you to eat food to distract your mind from something. What is your mind wanting to be distracted from? You've got to answer that question. What is it? Are you thinking about your ex? Are you thinking about work? Are you thinking about other things? Are you worrying about family members? Are you just, is it just past traumas that you keep sweeping under the carpet, but they keep rearing their ugly head? Why do you need a distraction? Why do you need to use food as a coping mechanism? Right? Why, when you're on the sofa at night time and you've got a bit of time to yourself and your mind starts ticking over, what's going on in there? What's happening in here? I guarantee it's not very nice. And I guarantee that's why you're leaning for food, right? More often than not. For a lot of people, that was my big issue, right? And you're going to have to face some questions that you don't want to face. You're going to have to look at things that you don't want to look at. Now, do we use food sometimes as a poor excuse? Do we use certain things as a poor excuse to keep overeating? Yeah, like everyday stress. Life is stressful. It's what life is. We need to accept that. It's nothing different for you than it is for the next person, right? In a way, right? We can't say, I've had a bit of a bad day at work. Let's eat pizza. Right? Now, what is your bad day at work? Now, generally, if your job day in, day out is making you obese because to forget about your day's work, you've got to eat loads of food. Likewise, you could be drinking loads of alcohol. Likewise, you could be taking drugs. Likewise, you could be gambling. Change your job. Now, you might be, it's not that easy, Neil. It isn't that easy, but sometimes it is. right? Sometimes it is. What isn't easy is stepping out of your comfort zone. Even if your comfort zone is absolutely a prison, a jail cell, is hell on earth, it is still what you know. And it's a very, very tough thing to do, right? It's a very tough thing to do, is to, it's why we stay in relationships that we hate for years and years and years. Yeah, I absolutely despise it. But what if the alternative, which is being single, or it is worse than this? At least I know what this is, and I know it can't get any worse because it is what it is, right? So there's a lot of complications behind it. Now, Mounjaro, yes, Mounjaro is, people might go, well, how does Mounjaro take away my food noise? It just slows down gastric emptying, right? So it's quite obvious that, if you can naturally, it's going to massively help with it. And you can do that naturally, right? You don't need a GLP-1 to control appetite. You can do it naturally. Is it more complicated to put the effort in to plan meals out, plan, high protein diet, high fiber diet, volume foods, track your calories? It is, yeah, it is. But if you learn that skill, that'll be with you for the rest of your life. The jabs won't. They won't. People are sat here now going, no, I'm going to be on for the rest of my life. No, you're not. Or they're not going to work for the rest of your life, even if you're going to be on them for the rest of your life, because your body builds up an immunity. Right? That's why you go from 2.5 to 5, from 5.5 to 7, from 5 to 7, 7.5 to 10, 10 to 12.5. Right? Once you get to 15, that's it. You've hit your ceiling window. I had someone on the live yesterday. They've privately messaged me. They're going to come on plan. They're at 15 milligram. They're the highest they can be at. They've gone from 2.5 to 15 in 9 months, and it ain't working anymore. It's done. Now, there's limited data on, if you come off Mounjaro for 2 months and then you go back on it on 2.5, it'll have the same effects that it did when you first started it a year ago. Nonsense. No medication does that. All right, that's absolute nonsense. That's just naivety. It is. People have been really. Now you might say, well, how do you know, Neil? It's a medication. Any medication that we take where we build up a suppression to it, an immunity to it, right? It never becomes back as effective. This is why you've got to bounce around from different antibiotics from time to time, right? Because once your body understands that's it. It'll fight it. It's like muscle. It's like we have muscle memory, right? When we go to the gym, someone that's might have gone to the gym for 10 years, right? Day in, day out, dedicated their life to lifting weights, great physique. And then for whatever reason, they have a bad accident or they end up, having to care for a family member. Mate of mine, classic example, mate of mine, right? Single dad, co-parenting with the mum, quite amicably. The mum passed away, right? Unfortunately, she passed away. And my mate, into the gym, training, great physique, been going all his life from being 16 years of age. Suddenly, he's got, I think, one of the kids is older, moved out. He's got 3 kids, but he's got 2 that live with him full time. And for 12 months, never went near the gym. He couldn't. He had to dedicate his life, like his life's been turned upside down, and he never went to the gym for ages, right? 12 months. He started back in the gym like 6 months ago, and he looks like he's never been away from it, because your body doesn't forget, right? It doesn't forget. It knows. So, we've got to learn skills. We've got to learn skills. We've got to learn to naturally control appetite, right? I'm not saying it's easy. It isn't. But, a GLP-1 slows down gastric emptying, keeps you fuller for longer. And it does work on reducing, and it does. And that in turn helps with physical and psychological hunger, because if you're generally not physically hungry, like you physically don't want to take food in, then you'll look for something different, right? You won't want to use food, which is, now don't get me wrong. I always say this: people only sing where they're winning. There are a lot of people out there that their psychological hunger blitzes Manjaro. Manjaro doesn't work for him, doesn't touch him. Right? I've got a family member that's been on it for a year, right? Hardly lost any weight off it, right? Because they're psychological, they're just pushing past it, right? And they've ramped the dose up to 7.5 milligram, and it's still not doing. But you don't see those people on TikTok because people don't want to admit that they're not failing, right? The meds just aren't, they've got deeper, but there'll be loads of people like that out there where, there's 1 million people on Manjaro, right? And it's been really popular for a year now, right? What are the numbers going to be for obesity? Do you think they're going to be massively diminished? Well, no, because there's 1 million people, there's 20 odd million people that are overweight in the UK. So even if every 1 million people on it have smashed the weight loss this year, we've still got 90 million people not on it that are fighting the fight themselves. Yeah. But, food noise, it's not, it's no joke. It is no joke. And it's a real thing. And anyone that says, it's a load of nonsense. No, there is food noise, just like there's alcohol noise, just like for an alcoholic, just like, and a lot of it is psychological. Now the difference is, the body does withdraw from alcohol. It does withdraw from like nicotine. It does withdraw from certain drugs. It doesn't really withdraw from food, right? There's no like major addictive properties. The addiction is habit, right? And just the feeling that it gives us, I really struggle with meal planning and getting my protein in. Why do you struggle with meal planning? What is your struggle? What is it? Tell you why a lot of people struggle with planning food when it comes to weight loss is because they think the specific foods that we need to eat to lose weight. There isn't. The specific foods that we should prioritize in our diet for our health. There's no specific foods that you need to eat to lose weight. So a lot of people, if I did a family fortune survey and asked 100 people, name me a weight loss food, lettuce, top answer. You run a weekend break in a spa hotel, right? That's what would come up because that's what people associate. And I think what people associate as weight loss food is very narrow. There's only so much you can do with it, which is why people struggle for food ideas and to plan like meal after meal after meal. What is it? Chicken breast, lettuce, salad, right? Broccoli, boiled potatoes. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can do with it. What about gammon, egg, and chips? Oh, you can't eat that on a weight loss. You can't eat that and lose weight. What about burger and chips? Oh, can't eat that and lose weight. What about a cottage pie? Oh, can't eat that and lose weight. It's got to be salad. It's got to be grilled veggies and roasted Mediterranean veggies and chicken. No, it doesn't. It just needs to be less calories than you burn. And it's been a big thing for me. So here's how your meal plan for weight loss. Write down your 20 favorite meals. Write them down. Go on. Write them down. Get yourself a pad and paper. Write down 20 meals that you love to eat. What do you love to eat? I love a roast dinner. I love burger and chips. I love fish fingers, chips and beans. I love, I don't know, flipping sausage mash, onion gravy. I love chicken fajitas. I love sweet and sour chicken and egg fried. Just write down all the meals that you love to eat. All right. And then what you need to do is you need to go, right, how do I make burger and chips? Well, I go to Tesco and buy the finest burger, right? And then I get a bun, and then I get some oven chips, and I whack a cheese slice on, and I fry some onions, and this and that. Right, okay, whoa. That burger with chips is going to be 1,000 calories minimum, right? How about going and getting a 5% fat burger? Brioche bun, lettuce and red onion raw on there, low-fat cheese slice. Let's make some air-fried chips. And now we've got burger and chips for 600 calories instead of 1,000 calories. And that's what you need to do with each meal. You need to go through it and go, right, how do I make this meal? And what will the calories be in it? Right? Oh, God, the calories are 1,200. How do I make that for 600, same meal, roughly the same volume, right? And you need to go through and tweak, right? This is what I did with food. If you don't enjoy what you're eating, you're really going to struggle to adhere to your diet, right? So you've just got to make, adjustments to what you currently eat. You'll also need to make adjustments probably to portion size. The amount of people that I'll put on like a recipe, well, that won't fill me. You shouldn't be full after you've eaten. You should be satisfied, not full. All right? That's the difference. Who chases that full feeling every time they eat? Every time they eat, you want to be full. There's only one day of the year, right, where you should be absolutely stuffed. It's coming up, 25th of December. 25th of December, you should need to be like someone getting like a spade or something to prise you out your chair, right? Yeah, it's Christmas. If you're chasing that sort of fullness after every time you eat, right, as soon as you stretch your stomach, you've eaten too much food. Dead simple. Bang. That's it. I don't know, I've eaten too much food. You stretch your stomach, right? You should be able, there's no real measure to this, right? But, I ate my tea tonight. I could have eaten it again. I'm a greedy git. I can eat a lot of food. I've got the capacity to put a lot of food in here. Right? I could have easily eaten what I had for my tea. I didn't need it. It was 750 calories. That fits in with my calorie structure. Right? And the amount of times I post a meal and people go, that won't touch. And I literally give them the same answer. I'm 6'5", 18 stone, average 11,000 steps a day. I train 6 days a week in the gym and it satisfies me. So why do you not think it satisfy you? And it's because we're just not used to eating correctly. Right, or how we should feel after eating, and again, it's not an easy one. It's not an easy one, but this is part of controlling. This is part of controlling your food. Yeah. So that's also there. Pizza, yeah, pizza, great. You love a pizza, right? You don't even need to make one. Just go to Aldi. You can either get one of their protein pizzas under 600 calories, or if you want something a bit more like a pizza, get the Carlos Fresh with 700 calories. Every single person on this live now can eat one of them pizzas at least one night a week for their tea. 770 calories, right? And flipping enjoy it, right? Or you can make your own pizza if you wanted to. Greek yogurt, flour, garlic, salt, black pepper all in there as well. Squeeze a lemon juice, right? Mix equal portions, right? 50 grams of Greek yogurt, 50 grams of flour. You're going to get a base for about 400 odd calories. Roll it out nice and thin. It's like a flatbread, right? Large frying pan, red hot. Yeah. Smidge of oil in it. Smidge. Put the oil in cold. Move it around the pan. Really good non-stick pan. Get it red hot. Get your flatbread that you've just made. Bang. 1 minute. Bang. 1 minute. There's your pizza base. Right? Mutti pizza sauce. Amazing. Whack that on there. Stick 50 grams of mozzarella on there. Ham, mushrooms, red onion. Yeah. Bit of chili flake. Bit of Italian herbs. Oven. 8 minutes. Boom. You've got a pizza that will be knocking on. Put some chicken on there as well. That'll be knocking on 650 calories. Right? Probably coming in at, I don't know, 50 grams of protein as well. Yeah. And if you need a bit more volume, whack a side salad with it. It really is. We overcomplicate it so much, We overcomplicate it so much. We really, really do. I bought a smaller plate as overfilling mine made such a difference. Jane, 100%. 100%. I put my tea on tonight, right? We have two types of plates, right? All of them I've got one plate. I've got two types of plates, grey, and then these white ones with ducks on, right? And I've got one grey one and one duck one that has no chips in it at the side. And those are the ones I use for my photos. But basically, the grey one is probably 2/3 of the size of the duck one. And when I'm having a tea that isn't going to be the biggest of volume, it's psychological. I put it on the grey plate because it looks more. when I'm having a tea, like a roast, where I basically, I want it like a flipping, I don't know, like the Krypton factor. Does anyone remember the Krypton factor? Where the hell did that come from? If you're under 35, you probably got a flipping clue what the Krypton. Brilliant, absolutely. However fat I was, I always wanted to do the obstacle course. I wouldn't have even done. I couldn't even. I can't remember what the first bit was. I wouldn't have even been to go. Anyway, stop talking about the Krypton factor. No one knows what you're talking about. Anyway, but roast dinner, huge. I use my duck plate. All right, duck plate. Yeah, because it's bigger. But yeah, there's little things. We got told these. Yeah, we get told this all the time. Like, it's like little tips and tricks. It's been around for years, that use a smaller plate, and it works. It's psychological. It just, when you feel like you're eating more food than you actually are, it works. It really, really does work. I used to love that program. Krypton was ace, wasn't it? Love the Krypton. So good, wasn't it? So good. I always wanted to do the flight simulator. You got to land the plane, and the flight simulator where you land the plane. Yeah, the assault course at the end. It was so good. Our normal dinner plates are massive. The one I used was 98p from Asda. That's a bargain. They are. Asda, like home range, is amazing. It really is. I don't know if you've seen, like, I used them tonight, but like the glass bake, just like oven dishes, right? But the glass, and then they come with like lids, so you can bake something in the oven, right? And then it comes with a plastic lid that you can ping it in the microwave at work. Absolutely brilliant. Like £2 each, master. Such, question on YouTube. I heard you say you work with people who have lost weight and now maintaining. Who decides at what point someone stops weight loss and is happy to maintain? Me. Right? Is it a joint decision between you and the person? Reason why I ask is because some people may never be happy with their weight. Correct. That's why it's down to me. Right? Right? No, and I mean that. So people will come to me, right? Clients. And they will, and you might say, well, what gives you the right? Because it's my job. I'm an expert at it. And I mean, I've got to say that I am. I've done it. I've worked in this industry for 8 years. I've got qualifications for working in this industry. I'm not just sat here making stuff up, right? I've done this job for a long time now. I started in 2017 training. Right, it's 2026 next year, so I'm going up to my 9th year. I've worked as a one-to-one personal trainer. I've worked as an online weight loss coach. I've worked with thousands of people, and I'm good at what I do. And I will be. You might go, you big-headed sod. No, I will be, because I am good at what I do. Right, and I've used my experience over the years of people, why it's better for me to give you your goal weight, and I give people their goal weight. So, like, I don't like that. Right? Well, I don't care what you like. Right? It's like going to the doctor. And people will do it, won't they? People will go to, people will get an expert in of anything, right? And they'll know better. Right? And it's just because we hear an answer we don't want to hear. Right? And I get it. I get it in a way. But, so many of us base our goal weight off just random numbers that just sound good, or numbers we've been when we're 21. Well, I hate to break it to you, I'm not emotionally attached to you, so you're not 21 anymore. Right now, you might be like, well, why can't I be the same weight at 45 as I am when I'm 21? Well, you've had 2 kids, love. Right now, those 2 children, they might not have given you the body that you want, but they're 2 little miracles. But what they have done is given you some loose skin, and that loose skin that's stretched out, that's increased your weight a little bit, I'm afraid. So that's one reason. Number 2, you don't live off pot noodles and cider and work behind a bar 40 hours a week while you're running around university, which you were doing at 21. Now you're an office manager, right? Or you're a general manager, and you sit behind a desk and you drive a 50 grand Merc, which you want to drive it. Right? You don't want to walk here, there, and everywhere. You don't want to live pot noodles and cider. I'm not saying it's healthy, but 2 pot noodles a day and 6 pints of cider, you'd be in a calorie deficit. Right? Now you want to go to Miller and Carter every Saturday night and have 4 porn style martinis along with a ribeye steak. right? Now, I'm sorry, but if that's the lifestyle you want to lead, you're not going to end up being the weight you were at 21. And I don't want you to stop living that lifestyle to the extent where you're going to be miserable. So you can still go to Miller and Carter, but not every week like you are doing now. Let's go once a month. But it's harder to rein it in. It just is, and we have to. That has to be accepted. That has to be accepted. And some people might go, "Well, that's just soft mindset." Soft mindset. We're not robots. We're in the military. We're not Marines, right? I'm sorry, but I'm 45 years of age. I want to drive my nice air-conditioned car with Apple CarPlay and heated seats and this. Yeah, I do. And I'm not ashamed to say that, right? And I want to go on the all-inclusive holidays, right? And I do want to go out for tea a couple of times a month. And if I didn't do all that and I lived off pot noodles and cider, I could be very unhealthy and I probably could be 14 stone. Not knowing what day it is because I've been smashed for the last 6 weeks in a row, right? But that's not my lifestyle. That has to be taken into account, right? All these things have to be taken into account when we look at goal weight. We have to look at where we've come from. I know when people come to me, I used to be 30 stone. You've got a lot of emotional, physical, and emotional eating issues. So to be able to control your appetite permanently for the rest of your life to maintain a weight of 10 stone, I'm sorry, that ain't happening. Reality check, right? And the meme that always comes into my mind, and I talk about all the time, is how can it be a dream body if it's a nightmare to maintain? So you guys, when you decide your goal weight with zero experience, generally it will be a weight that comes from some sort of emotional attachment or something you've heard from someone else in the office, or just a fantasy number that you just sounds good in your head. Mine comes from an experienced eye with no emotional attachment. I literally go, you started off at this way, it's took you this long. I get people nowadays that are like, I get clients that they'll hit a stone weight loss after 16 weeks of being on plan with me, which is absolutely fine. That's decent progress. But it'll be 7 weeks till Christmas, and they go, my goal now is to lose another stone by Christmas. It's just took you 16 weeks to lose one. Why do you think now things are going to suddenly change where you can lose double that and a bit more in 7 weeks? Because we get I don't know, we just get a little bit, we live in a fantasy world at times. I'm Mr. Reality, real Lost Boss. That's not what I call the real Lost Boss, by the way. But do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, with end goal weights, and I do get clients, they'll go, what's my end goal weight? And I'll go 12 stone. Well, I want to be 10. Right? So I want, flipping Michelle Keegan to walk through that door with a briefcase with 5 million quid in it. That ain't happening. I also hope it doesn't happen because Rachel will go for it. But anyway, that's a different story. It's like, it's just not going to happen. Right? It's not going to happen. So we have to have a bit of a reality check at times. I'll always give you that reality, Anyway, there we go. That's it. So yeah, so I decide on goal weights, and I use my 8 years experience of working with people and my knowledge and like I say, no emotional attachment to come up with a realistic weight. And I will always go a little bit, I don't know whether it's optimistic or pessimistic. I'll always go top end, right? And I always say this, a good weight will be 12 stone. If you can lose any more, that's a bonus. Knowing full well that the client might actually be able to go to 11 and a half. But if they go to 11 and a half and their goal weight's 12, they'll feel on top of the world, right? Whereas if I say it's, your goal weight's 11 and a half and they get to 11.8 and can't get any more and they're fighting it left, right, they'll still feel great, right? Do you know what I mean? It's like, whereas, being 1 pound, it's amazing how many people, when they're 1 pound away from goal weight, it's like they're 10 stone away. It's like, I'm only successful if I hit this one number. It's like, no, you're not. You've lost 6 stone. How can you be unhappy? You've literally lost, 90 pounds. And because of that one number, you're still unhappy, right? You've lost 90 pounds. right? And you're trying to get to an unrealistic target anyway, you know. People do kick back. It just is what it is, you know. But that's my job as a coach, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Let me scan down. I've got off on one there. I've got off on one. I'm thinking of Michelle Keegan with £5 million. I was going to say something else, but I probably got barred. Nothing to do with Michelle Keegan, of course. Right. Anyway, right. Let me scan down, see if I missed anything. I don't think I have. Do you think this is a good weight for my height? I'm big built, not sure what my body fat is. Joshua, I've missed anything else. I won't get. Hi, mate. I'm 6'1" and weighing 100 kilograms and lost 23 kilograms on Manjaro at the moment. My goal is 90 kilograms. You know, I can't really say. And honestly, I mean that because I don't know who you. And you're telling me what your weight is. You're telling me what you've lost. I get that. But I will only give judgment on people's weights or setting goals with people I've worked with. I'll get clients that will come on board that have been with me a month. What do you think my end goal weight will be? I say, look, I can't say at this moment in time. You know, I think if we got you down to this, you'd be happy, but that might change. I need to see how much you struggle with sticking to plan. I need to see how much you're going to struggle with learning to control your appetite. I need to see, you know, how much you're going to struggle with actually losing weight, where your fluctuations are. I don't know where your mindset is at the moment. Are you going to go AWOL and disappear? So, you know, it's very hard for me to make it, you know, I don't pluck numbers out of thin air. You know, Michelle actually is on plan with me. She's been on plan with me for a couple of years now. She's done really well this year. She did jump onto the jabs, right? But not for very long. She came off them and she's actually lost more weight off them this year than she did on them. She's just absolutely, and she come on plan with me, lost a lot of weight, been AWOL, been up and down a little bit here, there, and then this year things have just really, really kicked in. Right, really, really cute. And she actually asked me today, what do you think my weight would be? I'm not going to say what the weight was. And she came back with a weight that was 7 pounds lighter than what I said. And in all honesty, you know, I said to her today, I said, you weighed me this week, you're about probably just over a stone away. And she said, well, I had in my head this, so we're not a million miles away. And in reality, the weight that she said isn't unrealistic. If it was, I would have told her. But I said, no, you could push to that. And I don't think it's unrealistic. You know? Do you ask clients to send pics? No. No, I don't. I never have done. Well, I say I never have done. First challenge that I did when I do the Real Lost Boss challenge every 6 months. Sorry, we do a challenge within my community. You don't have to enter it, but some people do. And the first challenge I did ask people to send pictures in fully clothed. I don't need people in their underwear and stuff like that. I'm not, you know, I do get the odd one, not in a weird way, like weight loss before and afters. Some people just want to send me that they're really pleased with what they've achieved. But yeah, I'm not, and I don't mean this rudely, I couldn't give a toss about how you look. I'm more concerned with about how you feel, right? And you can send that in a picture, but I follow a lot of my clients on Instagram, on social media. You know, I don't need to see you in your underwear. I just want to see a smile on your face. I just need to see this. I just need to see. And I get how you feel in text messages. You know, so it's probably not great for my business that I don't ask for before and afters because people buy people. So all these transformation coaches, weight loss coaches, this was John week 1, this is John week 16, he's lost 2 stone. I get it. I get why people do it. You know, but there's never a background. And like I say, I don't give a toss what people look like. I'm not here for aesthetics. I'm here to make people healthier and happier and smile more. And they'll do that by changing their lifestyle, losing weight, changing their approach to food, getting rid of food guilt, you know, and this, that, and the other. So, you know, I do actually put out every now and then, and I might do it actually for January. And I have used these to like promote my plan a little bit. If anyone wants to send me some before and after pics that they're happy for me to lose, and I've got a few, I've got a few. Right? And it doesn't need to be underwear or anything like that. I'm not bothered about that. Right? And I know why people ask for pictures in underwear, because you can actually see proper contour changes of the body and stuff like that. So it's not a weird. I always find it a little bit weird if people have got like just pictures of people in their underwear all over the phone. But anyway, that's a different thing, isn't it? But I did it probably about 18 months ago. I said, hey guys, if anyone wants to send me some before and after pics that you don't mind me using on social media, and about 10 clients sent a load in, and they've done amazing, absolutely amazing. I might ask for an updated one of those. But I'll always ask my clients permission before I post on social media as well. And if it's like, if they don't want it posted, they don't send it. It's that simple, isn't it? I don't think I need to lose much more weight. Hold fat on belly and chest yet. Can see veins in my shoulders, legs, and arms. All right. So you're quite visceral. Yeah. So I have a very bad relationship with food. Is this something you can help with? Look, I've changed the relationship with food, the relationship with weight loss for hundreds of people, thousands of people, just people that watch my lives, my clients. So yeah, I can definitely help with it. And obviously you need to give me a little bit of background to why you have a bad relationship with food. You obviously feel like, a lot of people have a really poor diet and a really poor relationship, but they just move a lot. And you can't out-train a bad diet, but it can counterbalance it at times. I don't care how I look anymore. His health is more important, 100%. And just my whole philosophy of weight loss will improve your relationship with food. Just the whole way I look at everything, how we do things, my whole plan in general will change your relationship with food. Because if you go on with a coach and like, you've got to eat this, you've got to eat that, you've got to eat this, you've got to eat your sweet potato, and you're thinking, then you've got to have that. Straight away, you get fixated on, this is what I need to eat to lose weight. And then, I'll give you can have one cheat meal a week. Cheat. It's worse than sin. What is cheating? Cheating nothing. You're just having something that's a bit more calorie dense. Well, yeah, but it'll ruin your, ruin your progress. People are so, not clients, people are gullible, but they're gullible because they're vulnerable, right? Because they're desperate to achieve something. And they put a lot of faith in like weight loss coaches, physique coaches. And these physique coaches making out like they're doing something absolutely amazing. I'll allow you a cheat meal once a week. Any more than that will ruin your... Shut up. Just shut up. Absolute garbage. Honestly, just my nutting. The twaddle that some online coaches... I'm an online coach's worst nightmare, because I don't give a toss about saying any... I've never built my business on bullshit. So I don't mind calling BS out. I never have done. I've never built it on false promises. I've never built it on, 12-week transformations. I've never, I just haven't done, right? So I don't mind calling the nonsense out. Personal trainers will absolutely hate me because, I come out and say, and I said this when I was a personal trainer. Some people would come to me and they'd just be like, look, personal training isn't the be all. Like, you come in here twice a week. If you don't do anything outside, I'll do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if that's all you're going to do, don't bother. Right? And people are like, oh, right. Well, no. Weight loss is, you're 2 hours in here, I'll get you fitter and healthier. Right? You're 166 hours out there. That's where you lose your weight. Right? I'll guide you on that. But don't think if you're just walking in 2 hours a week, you're going to end up, looking like Arnie or something. I am. I've always been like that, because I think I've been lied to so much throughout my life about weight loss, and I've been sold down the river so many times. I just never want to be accused of doing that to other people, Right, let me scan up. Right, I'm going to bed. I feel like we've had a proper put the world to rights tonight. I like that. My aim is to live within a range instead of fighting to stay at one figure. You'll never stick at one figure. You do live within a range, like 2-3%. So if your goal is 154 pounds, which is 11 stone, you'll always fluctuate between the late 140s and the late 150s. That's maintenance of weight. Maintenance of weight is not sticking to an exact number. Again, I'll never sugarcoat anything. If you think that's the case, you've been misformed, Right, you lovely people. I am out of here. If you want to come on plan with me for the next till the 31st for the rest of the month till the 31st of November, it's free to come on plan. What? Yeah, it's free. Free sign up. Right. So only pay a sign up fee to get your plan, your ebook, get set up into the community. It's nothing. It's the biggest deal I've ever done. Right. Now, when you're on plan with me, you do pay a subscription of $29.99 a month. Right. So normally it's $29.99 sign up and then $29.99 a month for a minimum of 3 months. That's all I ask you to cover. The $29.99 a month for a minimum of 3 months, which will start on the 1st of December. The 1st of December. So you can sign up tonight now, right? Use code Black Friday 0. It will cost you nothing. You come straight into the community. You can come and do the community lives, the everything weight loss sessions this week. I'll write your plan up. You'll have it on Thursday. You can start on plan Monday. You still won't have paid a single penny, right? You'll get all that basically for nothing, right? And then your first direct debit to be on plan with me will go out 2 weeks today, the 1st of December. And you need to pay on the 1st of December, the 1st of January, and the 1st of February, right? And then you're done, right? And then you are done. Well, you're not done on plan. You're done with any commitment. After that, it's a rolling contract. You can work with me for the next 2 years if you want to, right? But if you just want to do December, Jan, Feb, right? And then go it alone for March, not a problem at all. You cancel. There's no commitment after your February payment. So sign up by Wednesday. You don't pay a single penny. You'll be getting weight loss coached by me from Monday, and not a single penny will have left your bank account. All right. So what have you got to lose? TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Just head to my link tree. Click on my link tree. Head down to shop. Monthly one-to-one, click on that, add to basket, at basket, enter code Black Friday 0, bang. It'll come up 0, bang. That's it. Sign up. Yeah, done. And then we'll get you going. We'll get you going on Monday. 3 people signed up today. I'm going to do as many as I can this week because Monday is my last start date of 2025. That is it. I go on part-time holiday mode after Monday. No new starters, no plans. I do have plans to write because anyone that signs up from Friday onwards this week, you will start on the 5th of January, right? And I'll write your plan up and I'll get it all sorted and you can have it before Christmas. And if you sign up using that plan, again, there'll be nothing to pay. Nothing to pay. But you will not get your plan until you're going to start on plan. All right? I'm not that daft. Right, so I'll risk 2 weeks before I get any money for giving you a free plan. But if you sign up after Friday, right, I'll write your plan up for you. It'll all be ready to go, and I'll send it over to you the day I finish for Christmas. So you'll get it then. Whether you want to start at Christmas, I wouldn't recommend it. You'll get it a week before, about a week and a half. No, 2 weeks, is it? Maybe 2? Yeah, you'll get it again. A bit like now. You get it 2 weeks before you'll pay, and then your subscription will start on the 1st of Jan. Yeah, which will be the 2nd of Jan, because 1st of Jan's a bank holiday. Anyway, it's just a great deal. Get signed up. Come get involved. Come get on plan. That's it. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. And if you are on plan or in the community, I will see you at 11 a.m. as well for this week's weight loss coaching live. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow morning if you're free, 8:30 a.m. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. TikTok, stand up to you first. Remember, Linktree, TikTok profile. And YouTube, Facebook, my Linktree's in there somewhere. Instagram, TikTok, get there. Click on my Linktree. Monthly plan. Black Friday 0. No charge until the 1st of December. We'll get you on plan a week today. Not a penny will have left your bank account. Guys, been a pleasure as always. I'll see you in the morning.
First of all, the What the Kobe 8s. This is considered one of the best Kobe's of all time. In 2013, these were really limited. Last year, someone paid £1,654 for these. This year, we got a retro. They're currently set on sale for £100. Next up, The Wu-Tang Dunks. These first came out in '99. Kind of unclear exactly how many were made, but pairs of these have sold for up to and over $35,000 on Sotheby's. Bro, I have seen the smaller sizes of these still set in some boutiques on sale, but if you want to cop one of the popular sizes, you can go over to StockX and pick them up for right around £250. That is a crazy drop. Last up, the Undefeated Fours, originally coming out in 2005 to the tune of 72 pairs. Pairs of these have sold for up to $40,000 in the past, but right now, if you go on StockX to cop this year's retro, you can pick them up for right around £300. Let me know which pairs you guys want.
There is a brand new epic fail with a so-called viral doner kebab I've seen all over TikTok. Burnt my hands, doesn't unwrap like they show it. I mean, look at this, what a mess. Doesn't even look like doner. I don't know. Anyway, made my mixture, mixed up some meat with some spices, some onion, really hard to roll, persevered, eventually managed to do it, had to repeat it, took me an age. Guys, don't bother with this, just go to the kebab shop, trust me. Right, managed to get 2 done, whacked them in the air fryer. Maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't know, I don't care. This is what I ended up with. Yeah, it looked like doner. Did it taste like doner? Yeah. Was it worth the ag? No, better off going to the kebab shop. Epic fail with a so-called viral doner kebab I've seen all over TikTok. Burnt my hands, doesn't unwrap like they show it. I mean, look at this, what a mess. Doesn't even look like doner. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, I feel like what can reform do to tackle what you described?
Right, boys, nutrition is king, and I'm going to tell you why. This is
So,
New McDonald's menu coming next.
if you do like the best thing I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here has done in literally years, if not decades, is get Angry Ginge. And that sounds like a crazy.